somewhere here.
Yeah.
Then we have the following situation. The neck is already flexed in the direction that you want to have it for the flying change.
Yeah.
And the hound will have to go the shorter way.
Yeah.
Yeah? Then it is very, very likely that the haunches come together with the front legs because they have the shorter way.
Yeah.
Mostly the haunches are left behind. When you approach a change, the horse gets slightly crooked to the outside, you know what I mean?
They want to drift.
Yeah, they get crooked, and then the haunches have the long way to go, and then they are late.
I understand.
You understand?
Yeah, I totally understand, and I approached that wrong actually.
Yeah, and now in the end you did it twice like that, once here, and you had a clean change. In the moment, of course, the horse is struggling a little bit with that because he has never done that. But the result was already there, and that was not accident. That was really the result of the practicing. So when you do that, it's also something else what you must have in mind. It is not only that you have in the end the right position for the change, it is also a little bit that when you have counter flex, and you yield, you yield actually, you yield over, it is also for the horse not extremely comfortable. You could see that in his reaction in the canter. It is not extremely comfortable.
Because of the natural bend.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it is not comfortable because the counter flex and then the yield in the canter, that is not very comfortable. It doesn't hurt, but comfortable it is not. Anyway, so when you come from this not so comfortable situation into the flying change, then the horse gets the message, oh, flying change, wonderful. It takes me out of a bad situation. You understand? So, and then that is for them really important. They make the experience, oh, flying change, that's fun. That's nice, you know. Good. Now pick up the reins and now we go for trot.